Hello, my name's Randy Rolfe, and I'm an independent Nikken consultant, and this is a product showcase. We do this show live just about every week, and it's interviews with guests who have experienced Nikken products and a quick overview of the Nikken technologies. These calls are also recorded, and so you can use them later to show to other people. And there are a number of calls all week that you can find through theroyalalliance.com that are focused on not only product showcases, there are just 2 on Thursday for product showcases, but also for technologies in detail, and also how to build a business and inspiration and aligning with success. So there's an endless opportunity to learn from independent Nikken consultants what Nikken is all about. So this is about products. So I'm going to share a quick PowerPoint before we interview our guests. Let's see, we'll go here. Can you see that? No, I mixed it up, sorry. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So this is our short video about discovering active wellness. And active wellness is the deep basic concept of Nikken, living a life in balance through taking active part in your own wellness. And I discovered Nikken almost 20 years ago in August. And what appealed to me most was that Nikken had found a way to bring nature back into our modern indoor lives. I had been a nutritionist for 20 years at the time, and I had had a first career as an attorney, but the lifestyle of a high-powered corporate attorney didn't suit me for the family life I wanted, for the health I wanted, and focusing on quality of life. So I started writing books on family health and wellness as I experienced those myself, focused on family. And I was looking for something in 1997 where I could teach natural health, maintain my freedom, and become wealthier. And Nikken came into my life at that point. And I was so excited that there was this company that had a whole nother dimension in addition to nutrition to bring nature back to us, because our bodies are part of nature and they work much better in natural energy. What I learned from family counseling when I had many clients in my home while I was raising the kids was that the daily choices and habits that we develop make all the difference for health and relationships, happiness, and also for income, for our success at work, our productivity. And if we make poor lifestyle choices, we become humans under stress, humans not achieving their potential. If we make good choices every day, we become humans being more, which is the motto of Nikken and has been from the very start. So it's not any big choices like I'm going to start fitness training at the gym next month, or I'm going to lose 30 pounds, or it's about daily choices, and we make hundreds of them, and sometimes it's very stressful because we're doing more and more of that with all the incoming digital world, but we need to be actively controlling our thoughts and our time and our health. The health environment that Nikken is operating in is worse than it was 20 years ago. I hate to say it, but it's even more stressful, like I said, with the daily demands from 24/7 in the digital world, plus more people taking extra jobs for extra income. And there's way more toxins in our environment than there was 20 years ago. There's like 3,000 new chemicals every year, and the regulators can't possibly keep up. The stress is the silent killer. It impacts heart disease, diabetes, stroke, cancer, and all the things that shorten our lives, and all the things that reduce our quality of life even when we don't die. And that's depression, anxiety, fatigue, allergies, sleep problems, weight problems, and so on. Stress has been shown to be a huge factor, and it's our stress reaction. We're not going to get rid of stress, but we can help our bodies respond to it. 70% of Americans have sleep issues, and we know that one poor night's sleep drops your immune system by 30 to 60%. And also the recovery of muscles and nerves. The memory loss often comes from poor sleep. I heard a professor on sleep saying students should get a good night's sleep before their exams. If they've been cramming, they'll remember it better if they get their 8 hours sleep. Air and water pollution is in the headlines every day. We now know in most areas in the US, indoor air pollution is worse than outdoor air pollution because we closed in our houses in the 70s to reduce air cooling and heating costs. And now with all the chemicals that we bring into the house and the positive ions that accumulate in houses and offices and cars, we get more physical stress on our bodies. And the water pollutions in Flint, Michigan, many cities have admitted that they have high lead, and that there's 260 contaminants or more in tap water, and bottled water can have thousands of contaminants. And these are heavy metals, they're agricultural chemicals, they're even medicines from people upstream that have gone through the water system. The chlorine kills any live pathogens, but then the chlorine combines and makes some dangerous chemicals. So our water is a big, big problem, and we're 80% water. If we don't have good water in our system, nothing really works well. Of course, the part of the population that suffers the most are the children, and this is really unacceptable in the richest, most developed country in the world. Obesity rates are highest, and today, 36%, 78 million adults and 12 million children, and we know now that obesity causes all kinds of problems. And 1 out of every 5 adolescents is obese, and 30% of children. And we know it's because of overconsumption of empty calories and inadequate consumption of essential nutrients that help the body metabolize and balance the appetite. And the risks of cardiovascular disease, cancer, and type 2 diabetes are up and up among children, and coming earlier and earlier in children. So it's not just because we're older, it's happening at younger and younger ages. So we know their bodies are not as resistant to those conditions as they used to be. Less than half of adolescents are getting the right amount of vegetables. Low-income families, of course, have it much worse. Limited resources, lack of access to healthier foods and medical oversight, and of course, higher levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. And only 27% or so of high school students are getting the recommended activity, and that certainly makes sense when they're not being nourished well, not sleeping well, and many are overweight. So what's the answer? It is about humans being more by active wellness, being healthy by choice, not by chance. That's all about self-care, being healthy by choice, not by chance. So active wellness is a process through which we become aware and make choices based on what we learn for a more successful existence. Nikken started in 1975 in Japan, which is the healthiest country in the world, and it's the only international company that has a comprehensive approach to balanced, holistic care for our health. And from the beginning, they had a philosophy that living a life in balance requires abundance and balance in 5 key areas of life: healthy mind, healthy body, healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. And I absolutely love that. When I started, we were really focusing on our mental health, our healthy body, spending time with our family, getting involved in our community. And we felt when we gave up legal practice, we were kind of giving up the high finances. But Nikken allows you to do all those things, to have your own business and not give up those other priorities to have a healthy income. So I love that. And depending on where you may have a wonderful job with lots of money coming in, like the partners I knew at the law firm, but they didn't have time for their families. Many of them were divorced, or hadn't seen their kids in weeks, that kind of thing. And it was a very competitive, aggressive kind of environment. It wasn't good for the mind. There wasn't a lot of calm and serenity in a law firm. And of course, working 80 hours a week, you're not going to have a healthy body over time. So I saw firsthand, if you're just chasing the dollar, the other things suffer. If your health is poor, of course, other things suffer. If you don't think your relationships are good, that affects your mind, and so on. Everything is connected. So it's a brilliant philosophy. Nikken's whole approach has been holistic, and active wellness gives you the Nikken advantage, which is a favorable or superior position vis-a-vis circumstances and conditions. So Nikken started out with daily products that restore us to the earth's natural energy, as if we're walking in the park or on the beach. I'm in California right now, and I walk on the beach every morning. It's wonderful, very healing. Then they developed a futon, also based on this kind of technology, to restore us to the natural energy field. Then they developed a water system that does all the things that nature does to purify water. So it purifies and alkalizes and mineralizes and so on. And then they developed an amazing nutrition line, and some of our products are absolutely unique in the marketplace, but all natural, organic based and pharmaceutical grade, and not overdosed, but balanced to work with the body. And then they also came up with an amazing full spectrum light I have here on my desk that gives you the extra blue that helps with a day and night cycle. And a lot of people have strange work schedules, so that can really help them. And then the air system, again, does all the things that nature does to purify air, and filters 4 or 5 different ways, and really creates an easy environment for breathing and sleeping. So this is the way we think of the products in 3 categories: rest and relaxation, which is really the signature area of Nikken, restoring us to all those natural energies from the sun, the air, the earth. And we have Insoles. That was the very first product. I've got them in my shoes now. If you're watching the video, the little square is our Kenko Flex, which is designed to support and relax the back. It's absolutely amazing. I've had several back accidents, and that made a huge difference for me. And of course, the sleep system, it's not just the pad now. We also have a complementary comforter, which helps respond to the body's natural warmth. It just feels like a cocoon. We also have a little cocoon that the kids love, and a pillow that's ergonomically designed, and again helps keep the head cool and restore the body to natural earth energy. The environment, I mentioned the water and the air. We have a shower system that also produces the great water and the light, and the nutrition on the screen. Some of our signature products are shown. The Osteodens is absolutely amazing for bone health, and I think we're going to hear a story about that tonight, or this morning. And Siaga is our antioxidant exotic juice. And like so many of our products, there's nothing added. There's no water, no sugar, no preservatives, no colorings. no additives. Amazing. It tastes great, and it helps support all our internal organs to maximize their productivity. And then our skincare is eco-certified. It's as organic as possible and still have skincare that'll stay in a bottle for a month or so. And it feels wonderful. It's great for the skin. It's nutrition from the outside in. So now I'm going to introduce my collaborators here and our guests. I'm going to end the share here, and let's see, we have Hattie Jean and Karen Rose, and these are lovely ladies. We have amazing people we meet in Nikken, work closely together to spread the word of active wellness and productive self-care. And Karen Rose is so accomplished. She's works with animals. She's a yoga teacher. Her background is corporate branding and industrial design, and she's going to introduce us to our special guest today. So Karen Rose, if you're...
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Good morning, everyone. My name's Karen.
She's on the phone, so we're not going to see her pretty face, but please enjoy.
I'm on my computer, but I don't have a camera yet, so I'm hoping to get that and be able to be visible soon. But I just wanted to say hello to everyone, and I'm in the Bay Area of San Francisco, and I have a guest this morning that I talked to, Chris Bruce, who is an amazing young man in his 40s, and he was actually in the Bay Area. I missed him. He was here last weekend, and I missed his visit. So I wanted to connect with him. He was on a call yesterday, and so I gave him a call. He has an incredible story. So I wanted him to share his story. I just wanted to say about the Nikken products that Randy talked about is one of the things I love about Nikken is they're always coming out with something that takes us up to another level of health. And one of my favorite products that I love is the 10-4 energy drink that I have in the mornings, because it really is phenomenal to get that energy boost in the morning with that 10-4. So I just wanted to say that that's one of my favorite products that I sip on in the morning. So I wanted to introduce Chris Bruce. Chris is on the phone, so we won't be able to see him. Chris, are you there? Are you unmuted?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes.
you. Yes.
Great.
Yeah, I just wanted to introduce you. You live in the Washington area, right up in
Yeah, I'm in Spokane,
Spokane.
really close to the Idaho-Washington border.
Okay, yeah. So he's, okay, so you're right near Idaho. Yeah. Anyhow, so I'd love to have you share your story, and then you also told me about this bone story that sounded pretty amazing. So here is Chris Bruce with his story.
Okay. I was introduced to Nikken because of a product need. I was not looking for a business or anything. I'm one of those guys that was always a little adventurous, trying to do things that I shouldn't do, and I ended up getting hurt a lot. I was one of those watch this kids and then do something stupid and fall down. But over the years, I collected a lot of injuries. When I was in college, I was going to a Sting concert, got in a car wreck because a logging truck in front of us lost part of its load, and we went through the load at 70 miles an hour, front flipped into oncoming traffic, got hit by another truck and rolled down an embankment. I'd just been accepted into a medical program at Rice University at that point. Not med school, but like the pre-med program. But my injuries included 3 concussions, broken hands, broken sternum, broken ribs, dislocated hip and knee, lacerations all over the place. I had 60 stitches in my right hand, making sure my fingers went back on. And the seizures that I had because of the concussions and the memory loss kind of ended that medical program. Not quite 3 years later, I was through physical therapy and feeling a lot better and was trying to get back in shape. I was riding bikes a lot, and I was, playing some sports again, and I was playing flag football because I still couldn't do anything too rough and tumble. And supposedly with flag football, you're safe. No one's getting tackled or killed. But the quarterback on my team liked to talk trash. He got the other team very excited to kill him. And I was the scrawny kid with glasses and figured I could be the peacemaker and no one would hurt me. And so I did the, can't we all get along pose between the two factions, and they went right through me to get to each other. And I ended up on the bottom of a dog pile, folded over backwards with the back of my right shoulder against the back of my left knee. I had 3 shattered vertebrae, dislocated. My neck had discs that were in the wrong spot, muscle and ligament tears up and down the left side of my back. I was unconscious for 18 hours when I woke up. I couldn't feel anything from the waist down. Several hours later, that feeling started to come back, but it was all pain, and it stayed all pain for almost a year and a half. The doctors wanted to do a full spinal reconstruction because they said without it, I wouldn't be able to sit up nice and straight in my wheelchair and be able to breathe. I would just continue to collapse further down and suffocate. But because of my neck injury, my heart and lungs weren't working right, and they were afraid that a 10+ hour surgery, the anesthesia would kill me. So I had to wait 18 months through physical and drug therapy to hopefully heal most of the soft tissue injuries in my neck so my heart would beat right so they could anesthetize me, so I would have a 60% chance of surviving the surgery that would fix my back, sort of. And if everything went perfectly, I'd be able to sit up straight in my wheelchair. I'd still be in pain the rest of my life. I'd still be on drugs the rest of my life. I'd never be able to have kids, and I'd die in my 30s. But, it could be bad if it wasn't that good. So after a year of all the therapy and treatment they could give me, and specialist after specialist, I'd made 0 progress. I had no new bone growth, no new muscle growth. I was atrophying on the whole left side of my body, and could not stand up or sit up straight without a body brace. I was also addicted to pain pills. At that point, the doctor said I was not a good surgical candidate and would no longer be eligible for that surgery because they were afraid if I survived it, I would sue them because I'd be in such bad shape. And if I died, my mom would sue them. And so I was just kind of left there. Since I wasn't preparing for that big surgery, the insurance company didn't want to pay for my treatment anymore. And so I was left in, pretty much disabled and addicted to drugs. So I started trying to find alternative things. And I tried all sorts of stuff all over California to help my back, and nothing really helped. A few things actually hurt me worse. But in the meantime, my grandparents were introduced to Nikken in Idaho, and it really helped Grandma's hands and Grandpa's knee, and so they thought it would help me. And I had a rollout, and by the time they were done very gently massaging my back with the Kenko creator, I was able to lay flat on my back for the first time since I'd been tackled. I still had a broken back. I still was in terrible shape, but that gave me some hope that something might help me. So I bought a Flex, which is the 5x7 magnetic card, and I put that on my back and I left it there 24/7. I borrowed the mattress pad from them and slept on it for a week, and then they took it away because it was, they were mean. And I just kept using the Flex, and I didn't really notice anything the first little while, but on the 35th day, I realized at lunchtime that I hadn't taken any pain pills that day. That's when I first realized something was, so I continued to use it. At 3 months, I had visible bone growth on x-ray. The bone started knitting. The shard of bone that was floating free that they were so afraid was going to go through my spine and kill me was starting to reincorporate back into the vertebrae as like it should have from the beginning. And I continued to get stronger. On drugs, no kids, and dead in my 30s. I've no drugs, no pain. I'm not in a wheelchair. I'm completely, fully active. I have 7 children, and I turned 44 2 days ago. So I've proved them wrong on all counts, but it was all Nikken intervention that helped me feel better. And over the last 20 years, I've told that story all over the world and talked to people all over the world. And just last weekend, as Karen Rose was saying, I was in the Bay Area with Dr. Chung, and one of her patients came in, and she's a wonderful woman. Her name's Yoni Gilly, and she's originally from Italy. Her parents fled fascism When she was 3 years old, they went to France. And unfortunately, they got caught up in World War II in the occupation and lived in the underground for 5 years. And she said they starved. She said sometimes the only thing they could find to eat was chicken feed. And because of that, they all suffered from malnutrition, and she's had health problems her whole life. Many of them dental issues because of low bone mass. And she wasn't able to get a lot of the dental work done that she wanted to because they were afraid if they worked on her, they'd break her jaw. So she started using the Bone Health Pack, and 3 years later, when she went in for a checkup, they did x-rays of her jaw and compared them to the previous ones and said, these don't line up. How did you grow all this new bone mass? Because women in their late 80s and 90s do not grow new bone, they lose bone. But she's grown so much new bone that she's able to get all that dental work done, and she feels much better than she did. She's had all sorts of back issues. She uses a flex and puts it on her pillow and leans against it, and she says she used to hurt all the time, and as long as she faithfully sits on her pillow with its magnet on it, she feels great. And she's actually going to be recording her testimonial with Brody Craney sometime in the near future. But you know, over the years, I've seen, I personally face-to-face talked to several thousand people, and I've talked to way more than that. I've just seen so many people helped by these products, and it's not because we have the cure for arthritis or cancer or obesity or anything. It's just our bodies naturally want to be healthy, and they put all this energy into being healthy. We just have so much competition for our energy and time, and such poor resources that our bodies get backlogged. You know, there's a honey-do list of 1,000 things to do today to make you healthy, and if no energy, no sleep, bad water, bad air, bad nutrition, and we're stressed out, next day's honey-do list gets a lot longer, and pretty soon we're just not doing anything for our health, and we fall apart. Nikken helps us get back on track, give us all that stuff so that we feel good.
Thank you, Chris. Yes.
Wow.
What a great story. I couldn't believe when you were telling me that story. And you were, what age were you? You were what age when you had your first accident?
I was in the car wreck at 18, and I was a little older than 20, not quite 21 when I broke my back.
Yeah, so you were,
and I was not quite 23 when I was introduced to Nikken.
Wow. Wow, what an incredible story. And what's really interesting, what I love about it is your story, and then the bone health, you know, it spans from 18 to 20 to 89 to 93. And I love that. I thought, wow, you know, you have a story that goes all the way from, you know, the beginning of when we're looking at taking care of ourselves, and then at the end when sometimes people have given up on that, and look at what they can do and what we have that can help them at any age. At any age. So I love that about your story, the range of the story. So thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome, Chris. Thank you for sharing. And it's just amazing what the body can do when you give it what it needs. And all living things thrive on these great energies and good air, good water, and good sleep, good food. And it's what a great story, because you know, our medical world, they can put you back together, but the body does the healing. And that's just, thank you so much for sharing. Do you have just like 30 seconds of what you recommend for people who are just being introduced to Nikken? Where should they start?
Well, first of all, you should try the products. You never know what it is you need. I've seen over and over again where people have, you know, gone through a presentation or a wellness briefing, and they're like, well, you know, I'm really healthy and I don't need any of these things. But if you can get them to try even, say, just the water for a week or two, and they start to realize, wow, you know, my foot doesn't hurt anymore. I totally forgot that just used to bother me. But, you know, especially people that are, you know, getting into their late 30s, 40s, 50s, you learn to live with a lot of discomfort, and you don't realize how much energy that's taking from you. But, you know, simple things like the water or the insoles that are an easy, cheap, you know, if you bother to remember to put your shoes on in the morning, you're going to use them, kind of product. it's amazing what people see a month later, how their lives have changed and how much energy they have when they're not burning so much energy to mask pain. Those are really easy. And the other thing is to do research. There's great websites out there. There's books, there's tapes, there's audios, there's calls like this, where you can listen to people. And if you do that for a month, here and there, you're going to hear somebody that says something and they'll be just like you. They'll have an issue, a challenge, a mission, a passion, or something like that you share that you can identify with. And there's so many great little communities within Nikken that are doing such great work for people around the world. And you know, joining a mission like that really gives a lot of purpose to life. And you know, that fifth pillar in the 5 pillars of being a healthy community. A lot of people are missing that in this day and age because we're all on our phones and cocooning it, you know, working from home. We're not going out and doing all those social things that are maybe our parents and grandparents did. And it really is a big part of the human psyche to have that connection with other people and be doing something good that you can be proud of. Those little things make a big difference in life.
Very cool. So well said. Thank you so much, Chris. And Hattie Jane, did you have anything you wanted to add? Unmute yourself. No?
Sorry, I had trouble finding the microphone. Another thing about this business, I'm sitting in my bank, waiting to talk to my friendly banker, and listening to this most fantastic story. Chris, thank you so much for sharing.
Sure.
Cool. So I'm going to share a couple more slides here. Just to ask the listener, ask yourself what you're doing today that's getting you closer to where you want to be. And Chris put it so well, whether it's any of these areas of the 5 pillars of health. So we recommend that you just get started, try the products, become a customer, very easy. Go back with the person who sent you to this show and they'll show you, just register as a customer like you would on any online shopping place. And if you fall in love with the products, you want to share them, you can become a part-time entrepreneur with us. It's a wonderful, wonderful team to be part of, helping people get healthier around the world. And you can even make a full-time home career out of it if you so choose. So thank you for joining us. And go to the Royal Alliance to get more videos and lots of YouTube videos, and Google Nikken and any issues that you're interested in, and you'll find wonderful other resources. So thanks again, Chris and Karen Rose and Hattie Jane, and I'm going to sign off now.